Welcome back to the Kajabi Fireside Chat. It is season 2. I am so excited to have you here, and I'm very excited for our first guest, Laura. Welcome. You are first cab off the rank for season 2, and I don't know, should we say you've got the best session ever with the most exciting news?
Sure, yeah, let's go. We're going strong.
Okay, it is a lot of pressure because you're kind of new to Kajabi, so you're being thrown in the deep end with me. So, firstly, what I would love to do is, can you give us a little bit of an introduction about what you do at Kajabi, so that the people who are joining us here for this shopping cart deep dive understand your role? Because that's part of what we're doing, is to meet the people behind this beautiful software that we use day in and day out every day. So, what is your role at Kajabi?
Yeah, totally. I mean, first off, thank you for inviting me to this and for having me kick off this season of Fireside Chats. Super excited to be here and talk through Cart and share some exciting updates to come. I am a senior product manager at Kajabi, focusing on checkout and payments. I'm mostly on the checkout side of that at the moment. And I've been with the company now for maybe 8 months or so not too long, but long enough to be fully in the swing of things. And I've been working on the cart since day one of being with the company. So I've got a lot of great intel and a lot to share about that. And since I've started, we've rolled out a bunch of updates to the cart that I think a lot of folks are not yet familiar with. So super pumped to actually talk through some of those things and just get more awareness around the cart in general and check out at Kajabi.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I met you in Dubai in January this year. The time has flown, and I remember being absolutely stunned at that point, like how familiar you were with everything, because you had just pretty much been thrown into the payments team.
Oh, totally.
But like you were so like, all right, I want to. You just knew everything, so I was super impressed. So I'm excited that you're going to show us everything about Cart, so that if you're not yet using Cart, this might give you some inspiration of how you can use it. And plus, we'll do a quick run through on how to set it up, because what I find with a lot of people that I've worked with is that it's easier than you think. Like, it can feel like it's this whole big, setting it up like it's a course or a product or a big thing. It's actually pretty straightforward. So we're going to deep dive into that. But you got a big announcement coming. So what I would love is put in the chat ideas. If you're here and you're like, oh, what is it? What is the big reveal? If you've got any ideas or suspicions, let me know whilst Laura is going through and telling us about the shopping cart. We're going to do that at the end, so stay tuned. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Obviously, I know because I've talked to Laura. If you don't know, perhaps you are a little bit curious. So what I wanted to start is, when do you, Laura, think that people should use Cart instead of using sales pages? I've got some ideas, but I would love to know what you think about, is it an instead? Is it an and? Or like, what do you think?
Starting off by saying that I don't think that any of our checkout experiences are inherently better or worse than the others. I think it really depends on what you're selling, what your sales strategy is, how you're thinking about creating that end-to-end experience for your customers from the moment that they arrive on your site all the way to the point of actually making that purchase with you.
One of the things that, in terms of the cart, that I see is that sometimes people are like, oh, I have to sell digital products in a funnel because that's the way that you've always sold it. And that is a fantastic way to sell digital products. Like, I don't think anyone is going to argue with that, but it's not the only way.
Yeah. And I think that's right. I mean, like looking at the offer checkout experience, for example, I think it's still really great for those high context, super focused sales where you just want, combined sales and checkout page to keep customers, lasered in on that offer. And that can be really great for high ticket offers. That can be great for standalone promotions or just any offer that requires a bit more context and storytelling. But it might not be the best case for everything. And the cart is a great addition to the toolkit, I would say. And at like a fundamental level, it allows your customers to browse, compare offers, and purchase multiple offers in a single transaction. everyone is familiar with the cart. Anyone who's purchased stuff online has used a shopping cart. It's, an incredibly familiar e-commerce pattern. And we really wanted to lean into what the best practices are around that, how we could bring that to life on Kajabi so that we're encouraging exploration and empowering customers to kind of build bespoke bundles of offers that you as the creator don't need to anticipate every possible combination of. And so I think the cart is really great for that. And since we've launched it, we've seen a bunch of really excellent examples in the wild. We do see it working especially well for storefronts with multiple offers, particularly those that have larger catalogs. It can be a really great addition to offer list pages where you're encouraging your customers to shop around and, forgive me for saying this, but like selecting things off a menu a la carte. And it can be really good for showcasing a variety of offers and cross-selling related items. And especially during the holiday season last year, we saw a lot of success with flash sales and seasonal promotions. And in the last few months, we've actually released an update to the cart to support cart coupons that you can offer to provide discounts on larger purchases to really drive up that spend. So yeah, the cart is, I think, one great tool in the kit. I don't believe that there's a one-size-fits-all solution that will work great for everyone. I think it's really about figuring out what works best for your particular catalog and the journey that you're constructing for your customers. The cart's a great option to play around with, and it's really easy to set up, like you mentioned. So testing it is it can be as simple as having one page with the cart, seeing how that goes, and then if it works well for you, then expanding it to your whole site. Many options.
Do people need to make new offers to put them into the cart, or can you use what you've already got?
You can use what you've already got, assuming that you've already got one-time payment offers. So any existing offers that you have that are set up as one-time payments or free offers can start using the cart immediately. It doesn't currently support subscriptions or payment plans, but if you're on Kajabi Payments, you can enable the buy now, pay later options, Klarna and Afterpay, which from the customer experience operate much in the same way as regular payment plans in Kajabi. They can pay in installments. So yeah, if you've got one-time payment offers, and I know that most heroes on Kajabi do, you can start using the cart immediately.
Yeah, and I find that lots of people that I work with as a Kajabi consultant have got, maybe they've been in business for 2 years, 3 years, or even multiple years. They've got all these things that they created, and at the time they created them, they promoted them, and then they just kind of sit there. And maybe they're a bit hidden away, or they're on a page that, isn't really getting found. And that's where I've found the cart is really powerful. You can create that everything type of page where you've just got one place where people can go and see all that you offer. And there could be things that you're only using as order bumps or upsells otherwise, and being able to put them all together in one place. Sure, it's, like there are some things, like you said earlier, that maybe need that extended information and to take people through a buyer's, a customer journey. But there could be things where people are like, someone's recommended it and they go to your site and they just can't find it because it's not like listed in the menu or anything. So that's why I love the cart, is just having that central place to send people that's easily accessible from a menu. You're not having to go through like courses and this and this and this and this and this. You're like, go here, like look at all the things.
I think that's exactly right. I can't tell you the number of sites that I visited on Kajabi where I'm just trying to figure out where to buy something. And oftentimes it can be pretty challenging to locate a checkout page or like a list page that aggregates all of a hero's offers in one place. I found that it's not a super common pattern, but it's nice to see that with the cart, people are using those a lot more. And they're injecting add to cart buttons onto those offers that can serve as like a quick cart. So like if I see this offer block and it has enough information for me to make a decision on the purchase, I can easily add it to my cart and then like continue shopping. Or, and I see a lot of folks doing this in a really great way. Alternatively, they can click into the offer, get more details. That serves as a sales page in a slightly different format. And from there, they can add to cart or like launch pop-up checkout. So we're like, this is what I'm saying when I talk about how the different checkouts can come together in a seamless way. There are ways to integrate each of them in like a single customer journey to really make it easy for them to perform the actions that they want, whether it's, I want to add this, maybe come back to it later, or I want to add this and keep looking around, or I'm like ready to buy right now. And finding ways to accommodate those different intentions, I think is really important. And the cart, offers an alternative to the pattern that we see most often on Kajabi.
Yeah. And also the coupons is so fantastic because you can have more than one coupon to increase average order value. So it's not just like a coupon. You can say, hey, if you spend over this amount, then you'll get 10% off. If you spend over that amount, you'll get 20% off. And that's going to help increase that average order value. And in e-com world, which is so different to digital world, but really it's the same thing at the end of the day. We're just selling digital versus physical. Increasing average order value is one of the key metrics that people want to do. And we just don't always see it as much. Well, we've only had the option to do it through order bumps and upsells. But now we have this option where we can encourage people to, add those extra things with a really simple coupon. You can put a banner at the top of the page.
Yeah, I think that there are ways to do it really seamlessly. And I mean, that was one of the big pain points that we heard as we were preparing for this project / as we were figuring out what to work on. A lot of folks were complaining that they were losing customers through the checkout process because if they want to buy more than one thing, they have to go through the checkout multiple times, re-enter all the information, and that's just, it's annoying. And unless you're a very committed customer, there's a high likelihood that you're going to lose patience at some point and drop off at some point. And so with the cart, you can add a bunch of things, check out once. And we do see an increase in average order value for transactions that originated from the cart. I think it's right now around like 24% higher than the average order value otherwise. And we are seeing that on average, the number of offers included in a cart order is 25% higher than one, which so like the average is like 1.25. So folks aren't yet buying like a ton of offers at once, but on average, they're buying more than one. So it's a good trend to see. And as it's leveraged more across different types of sites, I'm excited to see how those numbers shift.
Do you have to use Kajabi Payments for Cart? Because I know when it first came out, it was only on Kajabi Payments, but it's expanded now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's expanded. It was never our intention to keep it limited to Kajabi Payments. It's easier for us to build stuff on Kajabi Payments. And so often this is the approach that we take. We'll start there so that we can get feedback as early as possible and iterate on the feature. In the last few months, we've rolled out to both PayPal and Stripe. So now all providers are supported, and all additional payment options are also available. So the buy now, pay later, the digital wallets like Apple Pay and Google Pay, if you're on Kajabi Payments, that is. And
if you're on Kajabi Payments, then you can also use sales tax on Cart orders. That's right, isn't it?
Yep, that's right. That was a more recent update that we rolled out for the cart. So if you have sales tax enabled on your site and set up on your offers, then we will automatically calculate and collect sales tax for every cart transaction. When I walk through the demo, I can also show what that looks like in the admin. It's really straightforward. You on the cart level can set whether you want tax to be applied exclusive or inclusive to the order total. So I think this is mostly like a regional thing. In the US, usually it's exclusive, as you know. And so, we support both cases, and the tax is applied on the order level rather than on the individual item level when it comes to that inclusive, exclusive treatment.
Okay, awesome. So you mentioned before that you can't use it for payment plans and you can't use it for subscriptions. But I've got some demo pages that we're going to show, and Laura's got demos as well, where you can see how even though maybe you're not selling, if you create a store page, maybe not everything on that store page has an add to cart button, but can still have a learn more button. So you can still have that page where everything's collected together, and some things can then be purchased, elsewhere. Is there anything else that's excluded or that anyone should know about things where, so it's only available for one-time purchase offers?
Yep.
And they can be existing offers that you've already got set up for a sales page or anywhere else in Kajabi, so you can just add them. So you're basically on the add to cart button, just linking it to that existing offer.
Totally.
Is there any other like exclusions or things that we should know about things that are? I'm pretty sure we covered it.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. There are a few things that the cart doesn't yet support that we can get into a little bit. Right now, while we don't support order bumps or upsells or downsells, there are creative ways of incorporating cross-selling opportunities within a cart flow. So there are some ways around that, and we can show some examples of that a little bit later. You can set up additional checkout fields for cart checkout, name, address, phone number. But right now we don't yet support custom fields. So that's something that is on our radar. At the moment, affiliate commissions are not yet supported, but also on our radar. If any of these features are important to folks, these are exactly the things that I want to hear.
Yes, for affiliate commissions, please.
Yeah. Feedback is, I mean, one of the primary drivers in our thinking for prioritizing upcoming like iterations and improvements, and just prioritizing our roadmap as a whole. So it helps to be for all of you to share what your priorities are with us.
Yeah, Eve just has got a question where she's just asking about quantities, like adding quantities on checkout. So if she's got, a corporate customer that might buy seats to a program, like is that something that we might be able to add, in the future? Yeah.
Well, if you set up quantity on the offer level, so enable this offer to be purchased at quantities greater than 1. I can't remember what the setting is called. Then that quantity selector will show up in the cart as well.
Oh, great. Okay, nice.
So it pulls up settings. Yeah. So you can.
Okay, there you go, Eve. Your wish was already granted.
Totally. And if you set limited availability, for example, only 10 units. I'm thinking in the physical inventory world, but then we will deduct for every purchase. We'll deduct that quantity from the total that's available, and then if you have the setting on where you show the amount remaining, then we'll show like X number remaining in the cart. So that's a great way to encourage people to make that purchase sooner rather than later, because it drives some urgency, and that functionality has carried over to cart.
Okay, nice. And if someone wants to sell physical goods, because that's something that I have had people asking about, being a cart, and maybe it's merch or something along those lines that you want to sell as well. Have you got any suggestions around that? Because normally what I would do is have custom fields on the checkout and then use those custom fields to bring in as personalization fields in email. So you email yourself all the details, or you send the email to because we can't use custom fields, my workaround for it is sending the email that goes out, because that's just reminded me of something as well that's not on my question list. When someone purchases multiple things, they'll get multiple automation emails. They'll get one if you've got that set up on the offer. So if the offer has got like an automation and they buy 3 things, they'll get 3. So they still get all the automations for purchases like normal. So what I have been suggesting for people to do if they have physical products is send an email requesting the information that you need to fulfill the order. It's not perfect, but it's,
Yeah, it's a workaround that works.
Unless you got better ideas for me.
I, off the top of my head, don't. I mean, we don't have any native support for managing fulfillment. We're firmly focused on digital goods, at least for the time being. And yeah, I think that the method that you have in place makes sense. Nothing's coming to mind for a better workaround, but
you can still capture the address on the checkout, so you can tick that box so the address is going to show.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, and it will show automatically if someone has got sales tax turned on because it needs it. So
that's right. So if you don't have address enabled on the cart level, but you do have sales tax enabled, we have to show the address field so that we can calculate the sales tax based on the customer location.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we should do a little show and tell. Do you reckon you can show us some cool stuff and how to set the cart up for people that are new? So
Awesome. I've got a demo site here that is not doing very well in terms of revenue, but
because it doesn't exist, it's fake.
Yeah, these are our internal test transactions. I'll jump into a demo storefront that I've created just to show what the cart looks like to start, and then we can jump into how to actually set it up.
Okay, so, great.
On this demo site, you see that the cart icon appears in the header here. And then I've showcased the various ways that you could incorporate the Add to Cart CTA onto your landing or website pages. So the three methods that we support are through pricing card blocks, through offer blocks, and then the general call to action block, which makes it super flexible to basically add it anywhere you want. But just going back to the top, so I've got some pricing card blocks set up here where the primary action is add to cart. This, like I mentioned, is kind of like the quick cart action. Let's say I've got all the information I need based on this. I can just add to cart directly from here. In most cases, your customers will want more details. And so we really do recommend providing all of that information upfront to your customers and keeping in mind that an add to cart button doesn't take the place of a sales page because you still need to provide those extra details. You need to include the price, you need to include what's included in the offer itself. So if I jump into the view details link, I've set up a offer detail page similar to what you would see on any e-com site, a product detail page. Everyone's familiar with this dynamic, but all the information presented upfront, add to cart can happen directly from here. Additional details, what you'll need, some accordions, and then just supplementary information, testimonials. And then here's an example that I referenced a little bit earlier where you can incorporate cross-selling opportunities and recirculation of offers based on what might go well together or what customers tend to purchase together or just related items. And then an FAQ. The reason I'm showing these two pages is because we actually have some templates that have been created and are available when creating a new landing page that leverage this basic layout.
Cool.
So let me jump into the actual admin so I can show you how it's set up. If I go down into the sales menu, there is a cart item in this navigation. And this is where all of the cart settings live. I can update some basic stuff around, what color do I want the button to appear as, the label itself. I can alternate between the actual cart page and the checkout page. I'll show this on the demo site in a moment. I can set up my payment providers. Here I'm set up using Kajabi payments because I want to enable the digital wallets and the buy now, pay later options. And this is where we get to the sales tax setting that I had mentioned. We pull the sales tax setup from the offers themselves. So if you have enabled sales tax on an offer, we will collect it in the cart. But here is where you would say, I want tax to be included in the offer's price. And if I want it to be added separate to the price, then I'll leave this unchecked.
Okay.
And then the additional customer fields can be set up here. Let's say I want address and name, because maybe I want to send a physical product as well. And then service agreement works the same way as the other checkout pages, where you can show it, you can show the default one, or sorry, you can hide it, you can show the default version, or you can create a custom one. So I'll save those changes really quick, and then we can take a look at how that renders on the demo site.
So just a quick question. For these template pages, are they just under the landing pages if you go to a new landing page?
Yes. And perfect. I can show that in the next step, because we'll take a look at how it appears in the builder and how to actually set up those CTAs. And we can use one of the templates as an example.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so here's the shopping cart. I've added soap making for beginners. I can increase or decrease quantity because for this particular offer, I have quantity enabled. And then I jump into the checkout form. You can ignore this note. This is just because I'm logged in as an admin. But all of the fields are here. If I put in just the minimal fields for calculating tax, you'll see that tax is added here. And then payment information that I had set up. And then I also have the service agreement here. I'll jump real quick to showing what coupons look like and how those are set up, because I think this is one of the more exciting hidden gems with the cart. If I go into the coupon section of the admin and I click on new coupon, you might have noticed that we now have this modal that allows you to select between regular offer coupons. These are the ones that work in your other checkouts. So the single offer checkout, pop-up checkout. And we also have the new edition of cart order coupons. So that's what we'll use here. And I'll just do a real quick test. I'm doing 15% off. But the new feature that is exclusive to Cart is that you can set a minimum purchase amount, which means if I enable that, the coupon is only eligible for orders that are at or above a certain amount. So let's say my threshold is $150 USD. That means that orders below that amount won't qualify, and then orders above that amount will qualify. That's, I think, yeah,
that's brilliant. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you could set up tiers for this too. So you could say 15% off, $150 for the order total, 20% off, 200, et cetera, to really drive up that spend and encourage folks to purchase more.
And it's a fantastic way if you wanted to do a flash sale or something really quickly,
that
because you're not having to do a whole new sales page. If you've got this set up and it just sits there, it's just bringing attention to it for a short period of time and giving people that urgency and a reason to buy now. And especially if they buy more, that they get that tiered discount. It's brilliant.
Yeah. No, that's a great point to add. Let's take a look at how this renders in checkout. I'm going to remove these just so that we can start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll add this soap making for beginners. It's $149 to the cart. Let's see if I set this up correctly, shall we?
Jason, we'll come back to your question, just so you know.
Okay, so I am trying to apply that code I just created. It's saying that my cart hasn't met the minimum amount. Boo, it's just $1 under. Okay, so let's maybe add advanced soap making, because I know that I'll want to take that course after the beginner course. So I jump in, I can add it again, and then voila. We only at the moment support % off discounts, but the % is deducted from all offers that have been added to the cart. Yeah, I could complete this order now if I wasn't logged in as a admin, but I will not.
And that's why I love things like digital download, like simple little products that you can add to the page, because maybe if you've only got things that are a few $100s, like having some of those smaller $9, $27, it gives people that opportunity to just add that one extra little thing, just like they do with order bumps. So if they see, I'm just short, then they're going to go back and be like, oh, what else could I tip myself, over that tier to get the discount?
I can't tell you the number of times I've ordered more from a company just to get the discount. I did that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think, to our earlier conversation around the cart doesn't support order bumps yet, but this is a great way to encourage the same type of behavior. To your point, having offers that are in different price ranges, being able to just add a lower priced item to get over that threshold can be a really powerful way to just drive up the average order value.
Yeah. And if you have smaller items, one of the things that I love is you don't have to do the full checkout if you're just putting them onto the cart page. You can, because that sometimes can put you off. You're like, oh, I've got to do the whole offer and I've got to, do all thank you page and I've got to do a checkout page. You can just do that little block and, maybe a modal or something. You don't have to do all of that as if you would if you were sending people to the checkout page, because in this scenario that it's like that pop-up version. They're not going through to the final checkout. So, if you're on the side where you're like, oh, I want 3 things to add, you can do it really quickly. So that's one of the things I like.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just wanted to go to your earlier point about the templates. So
yes, fantastic.
I'll actually back up for a second. I went into landing pages and then clicked on new landing page. And if you scroll down, there is now a cart sales section with 2 templates available. So one for the offer details and then one for a list page. So I'll just quickly jump into each of these. Let's call this soap making for beginners. So this is a really easy way to get something up and running quickly. If you wanted a more full-blown details page, because let's say this offer demands it. Maybe it's a higher price point. Maybe you want to include like a course syllabus. We already have the add to cart CTA on the page, but just to show you how to customize that, if I expand the call to action drawer, I guess I would call it, in the block settings, there's the button action. From this drop-down list, you'll see add to cart as an option, and then I can just set up whatever offer I want to be added to cart when the button is clicked. So we'll do soap making for beginners, and I'll change that to $149. And cool, we've got a page. Obviously, all the content is placeholder, but the availability of the templates definitely makes it easier to get something up and running quickly.
And if you've already got a sales page for, and you don't want to make a whole new page, like you can if you haven't got one, but if you've already got a sales page, you can enable the cart on that sales page and just add the button for add to cart. So it doesn't have to be that you're creating new things.
Totally. I don't have a page set up on this demo site that mirrors the example that you're talking through. But it's a great point that these CTAs can be added anywhere. I'll just quickly jump into this template for the offer list. We'll just do that. And it comes preloaded with offer blocks so that you can just quickly add your offers. And then the add to cart buttons are exposed by default. So let's just do any of these. Here we are. So it drops right in, add to cart's already there. But to your point, Sue, like if you already had a page like this that had a bunch of offer blocks, you could just enable that CTA by jumping into the call to action section, checking the box to show the CTA, and then making sure that the button action is set to add to cart and that we're pulling in the right offer when that button is.
And you can, I discovered this, you can do add to cart as an action on things like images as well. So if you've got, so it doesn't always have to be a button, like through, if you've got your pages updated. So you may need to, if you're going to do this and you can't find it, you may need to update your landing pages. But yeah, and I can see you've got, my next question was about the modals, and I can see you've got the example right there. So let's
Totally.
go through that.
This is a pricing card block which supports 2 CTAs. The first one is set up as the add to cart. The second one I can set up to drive to like a details page, like we had in that example, or I can have it open a modal that provides more details on the fly. So, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm looking at the right thing here.
I know where there's 2 modals like that. I'll just because this came up when we did the Kajabi shop sprint 6 weeks ago or so. The add to cart can have the option of add to cart, or it can be a modal, and that's the primary modal. And then when you've got the 2 buttons, the view details is the secondary modal. So there's actually 2 places. So if you go and add your copy and you're like, why isn't it showing up? Just check which modal is connected to which button.
Great point. So I'm clicked into this pricing card block, and I do see the secondary modal, the primary CTA and the secondary CTA, and then I can attach the open a modal action to the secondary CTA. Let's say more details. I'll save that and preview it just so that we can take a look at that. I don't think I set up the add to cart on the first one. I can't recall. But the second one, oops, my more details didn't save in there, but that would show up here. So you can have this drive anywhere, you know, to another page, or if you want to keep everything tight and the customer journey focused, you could just have it open inline here. Conversely, I mean, you could use this to open pop-up checkout. So the first action is add to cart, and the second one is maybe a buy now. If let's say I know I only want one thing, I don't need to go through the whole add to cart flow. I can just immediately enter my payment info and be done with it. So that's another great option for using that secondary CTA.
Yeah. And can you use pop-up checkout for subscription offers? Like, could it be that for subscription or payment plans, you could do pop-up checkout? Perfect.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, Cart is limited to one-time payments, but regular offer checkout and pop-up checkout support all of the payment types.
Nice. And also, if you've got something that is simple, that is just like a digital download, that's where you can use that modal, that pop-up modal, to put in some extra info that doesn't fit in the little box, so that maybe you don't have to create a whole page if it's just a cheap like offer. So
yeah, maybe all of the info is I have examples of this, of lower priced offers that don't really necessitate a dedicated page. And in fact, having a dedicated page might actually create additional friction that isn't necessary. So driving, this is what I mean when there's like no one size fits all solution. I think it needs to be handled, based on what it is you're selling and how you want to sell it.
And that's a great thing, is there's options. I love options. Everyone loves options.
Absolutely.
Okay. We got a question from Jason. Is there a way to have postage or shipping calculated for a product to be mailed?
Unfortunately, no. Not at this time. And when I say not at this time, I mean just no. The previous thing made it sound like maybe we're working on it, which is not the case. But you could bake that into the cost of the offer and leverage a workaround like the one Sue described to collect all the information that's needed to actually complete the fulfillment of that product. But right now we don't have anything natively built in that calculates shipping and then handles the fulfillment and logistics of that on the back end.
Yeah, cool. And just wanted to double check the blocks that have the 2 buttons, that is just the offer blocks, isn't it?
It currently is just the pricing card block.
Pricing card block. Yeah.
But if you wanted to create like a custom section, for example, that uses call to action blocks, you could create one that has multiple. And you can save it so that you could reuse it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. The simplest way, truly, if you want to get something up and running very quickly, is to leverage the offer block, because it automatically pulls in the title, the description, the offer price, and then you just have to set the add to cart action. So that's a great way to just plop it onto a page and see how it goes before investing more time and setting up, more custom pages.
Yeah, and that just reminded me as well, is don't forget to add the price to your block if you use anything other than an offer block, because you might use a feature or a card or something like that. And if someone just clicks, they won't know how much it is if you just do that. So do make sure to add the price. And maybe I've got an example that we'll show later. You can add that even to the button, if not in the actual block itself, so that people are aware of how much something is before they buy.
That's a great call. And that's something that we saw a lot of folks miss in when we first released the cart. I think just didn't think about it, but it does create an extra step for your customers to click into something to actually find. You don't want to click and add something to your cart to know how much it costs. You want to know.
Yeah.
Speaking of just reminders for best practices, I didn't show this yet, but you can enable the cart on any page by checking this enable cart button, or checkbox rather. This will link to the cart settings that I showed you a moment ago. One thing that I do want to recommend is if you go down into your desktop and mobile layout, make sure that your header isn't hidden. Especially on mobile, I think some folks just forget that they had a page set up that way because it made sense. But if you do have the header hidden on mobile or on desktop for that matter, there's no way for your customers to get to the cart and actually place that order. So
they can add it to the cart, but then they can't see the cart anymore.
Yeah. So just make sure that they can see it, get to it, and pay you.
And also just something, because this came up as a question a lot when I did the shop sprint before. If you have something where they add it to the cart on one page, let's say you have a store page, but you also have the cart on a different landing page or elsewhere, it travels through. So the store page, the cart isn't some isolated thing. It's across your entire site. So if someone adds it here, it's going to stick in there when they travel to other pages on your site. Like if they're coming through to the, this product information page or a sales page. And you can even add to the cart, enable the cart on your website if you have a website. So it's there.
Yeah, I had mentioned that we've seen a lot of success with people using the cart for promotions where they're driving people to one landing page that have a bunch of offers on there and a cart is set up. That works really well. But if this is something that is working for you, and you are encouraging your customers to browse your site and navigate around, I do recommend enabling the cart on all of your pages, just so that as a customer you don't have to backtrack, retrace your steps to get back to a page that has the cart. It's you want access to this icon as much as possible throughout the customer journey, just to make it as seamless as possible, so that your customers aren't like, what the heck, I just want to check out.
Exactly. All right. If you do have any questions for Laura before we move on, let me know. I think that is all the questions. Okay, so I'll just reiterate to confirm with you. What happens after someone clicks buy now, they go to the checkout like a customer, in terms of that post-purchase flow? Can you just work us through that in terms of automations and thank you pages? What tell us what happens, because you're not going to do another test transaction live, because I didn't prepare you for that, but
I'd have to do it in incognito or log out. But it's pretty simple in that all of your automations that you've got set up on your offers will fire as expected. All of that will work. Webhooks, Zapier integrations, all of that will kick off as
a purchase.
Yeah, exactly. I think it might be cart purchase. I have to double check, but we created separate events for cart. And after the purchase is completed, your customer will be directed to the member library if they're logged in. If they're not logged in, then they will either have to log in if we recognize that the email address that they entered in checkout is already tied to an account for that site. If it is a new email address, then they'll be prompted to set up a password. And then we'll direct to the member library.
Okay.
But I have heard that a lot of folks would like to be able to customize where people land. And it's something that is on the list of improvements that we would like to point. But for now, it's limited to the member library.
Okay, fantastic. All right, awesome. Oh, it's exciting. Do you know one of the things that I love most as someone who has hundreds of Kajabi offers, because we have a template store, is the coupons. Because in the past, if I wanted to do a promotion that involved a coupon for our templates, we would have to add that coupon to every single offer. And it always made you go, oh, that's the worst job. And then go and remove it afterwards. So the coupon field disappeared.
Right.
And now with the cart, like we're selling through the cart, you can do one coupon and that's it. And then it's just so nice. I like it a lot.
It's easier for sure. And like I said, the minimum purchase threshold is only available for cart orders right now, and is a super powerful lever in like how you want to structure your promotions to really maximize both conversion but also spend.
I've got a few examples of some pages, of some shop pages that some of my unicorn friends have created. So we might just have a little show and tell. Let me see if I can get them up on my computer. One sec. Sorry, we'll just get them.
You're on a different.
Now my preparation has gone out the window since I had to switch computers. So we'll just get that up. Where is it? That one. Yep. And okay, so this one here, I'll take over the mouse. So this was a page done from Stacey. This is what I was talking about before with having the price in the button. So if you don't want to put the price in the actual block, Stacey's page is extra cool if it's going to scroll down, because she's added some code, because Stacey is, I love Stacey. She's a little extra. She's like, I want to be able to have, what do I call it? Like categories. So she's actually added some code onto her page. So this is a landing page and she's put the code in, which will then take people to the different types of courses that she wants, which is really cool. Oops, hang on, I'm going to get the mouse in the right place. I'm trying to do two screens here. It's not working so good. So she's got these different things. And then she's also got some free resources that she's added as well, which is, you know, what you're saying, like the offers don't always have to be paid. Like sometimes you can have your free things that people can sign up for at once. So they're not having to sign up for, you know, multiple different situations. So these are, I'm not even sure, these aren't even courses. These are just ghost offers. So they're set up as offers, which will then get an email link to a landing page. So so you've got options, which is really nice. What else have I got here? So this is Vicky. So also these are really different types of businesses, you know, with really different things. So where's Vicky's? Hang on, no, that's not her store. Hang on, I've got to bring up. Is this her store page? No. Oh, shop. There we go. So she's got a shop page. This is her actual website. I was looking around your website, Vicky. I was like, oh, what have you got? So I'll just get rid of this cookie here. So she's got some different products that she's added. I'm trying to control the mouse on a totally different screen that I can't see because it's across the room. Okay, so she's got some different products where she's put it into categories down the page. So she's kind of created sections. So she's got these readings here where you can view details, which is going to bring up this modal option. So I just wanted to show that so you can sort of see where you can add, instead of creating a sales page, you can add that copy and content into a modal. Nice.
It keeps the experience so focused. Like you're not having to navigate to a bunch of pages.
Exactly. And then you're keeping people on the same page, so they're not going down a rabbit hole and forgetting that this even exists.
For sure.
Yeah, so that was one of the examples that I just wanted to show. She's got some other stuff on there too. So I'll put the links for these into the community. So if you want to go and check them out. And then this one is Eve's store. where she's got courses for career professionals. So she's got these ones here that she's set up. Again, with these view details, I didn't check, Eve, where these go to. So let's see where this view details is going to go. Is it a pop-up? Okay, so same thing with using the modal to give you that extra information about the course. So, and that's going to depend on price point, and it's going to depend on, are people cold, is this a completely cold audience? Like if someone doesn't know anything about you, they're going to need more information. But if this is people who are really familiar and you're doing a flash sale and you're like, hey, these are things I've told you about in my emails and on my social, but here's just one place to buy, that's where maybe you don't need as much information. But she's also got added here, this is a toolkit. So that's a different way of laying the same, with an image and a block. But then we've also got this other one, which was on the template that we included as part of our shop sprint. So did you make the images clickable? No. Okay, so there was an option. So there is nothing there to click on the images. But this is an example of a different one. So these are set up as buy now. So these are also add to cart. So these are just the single buttons, but this is where you can use the feature block. And you could actually put something in the image to say, click for more details or get more details or something to then open up that modal. If you already have blocks and you're like, oh, I don't want to change the blocks and make them feature blocks. So, you got different ideas. And is that the last one? And then one more. This is from, is it from Christina? Who's this one from? Katrina. Oh my God, why did I say Christina? It's because it's early in the morning. So this is again just another way where she's actually used mock-ups of the of these digital downloads and ebooks, and she's just popped them in there. So it's nice just seeing different examples, like seeing, then she's got this bundle where she's put it on sale, where it's a collection. So that is done through a separate offer. So that's where you could have it so people can buy individual and you can use that code, or you can create a separate offer that bundles 3 products together. And you could do that just for your page, or you could have it elsewhere. So again, options, we love options. And then she's got some additional things. And Vicky also had on her page, and one of the things I always recommend is, have also an opt-in block on your page. So if someone doesn't buy now, and just remind me of one last question. If someone adds to the cart, how long does it stay in the cart? Like, does it just stay there forever until they check out? Like, so if they go back to your site a week later, it'll remember?
Unless you clear your cookies. But otherwise, it'll remain in the cart. I don't think we ever time it out, or if we do, it's a really long time. Okay. I've gone back to pages that I haven't visited in months, and my cart is still active.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Yay! All right. Well, thank you everyone for hanging around for this awesome shop little demo and discussion from Laura. Shall we get to the exciting part? I think everyone's excited about Cart, but they might want to know what's happening. What's the new exciting thing?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't show anything yet, but I can share some details. We are working on a project right now that revamps the offer checkout page. And as I'm sure, I know you, Sue, are very familiar with, but I'm sure everyone on Kajabi is intimately familiar with the fact that the current offer checkout page is quite limited. There isn't a ton you can do to really customize the page, add branding elements, mess with the layout, add blocks that you might add to other pages. It's pretty static.
The testimonials are so ugly.
I was trying to be diplomatic, but ugly is an accurate. I won't fight you on that because it's accurate. And so with this project, we are completely revamping checkout so that it is loads more customizable. And essentially, you'll be able to edit it in the same way that you edit website and landing pages in the builder. So you can add content blocks, sections, all of the blocks that you're already familiar with, the ones that we reviewed today, but also really anything on the list. You could add a course syllabus. You could add additional content. You could include testimonials that are not ugly. And you could really make this page as custom as you want because it's quite flexible. So you could add stuff above and below the checkout. You could change the position of the checkout. You could make the checkout full width versus just, a skinny column on the right-hand side of the page. And so it really gives heroes just total control over what that page looks like. And it's been received very well so far in testing, lots of great feedback, but also a lot of people who've been super excited about it. And yeah, we can't wait to roll this out to everyone. It will be available for new offers that are created, but also existing offers that you already have. You'll have the option to upgrade them to the new checkout. And it won't be like a blind opt-in. You'll be able to review the checkout page before actually activating it, so that you can kind of, look at both the old version and the new version alongside each other and be like, okay, one is unequivocally better, and I'm going to activate that one. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. I know that folks have expressed a lot of disappointment around the checkout page and a lot of interest in seeing it, take on its next version. And the next version is coming very soon.
Yeah, which is so exciting because it's been like one text box and you've got to kind of code and add stuff into that one little column. And
Yeah.
you know, the thing that I got the most excited, well, I mean, I got excited about all of it, but being able to add a countdown timer without having to go to Centric and get like a coded countdown timer from somewhere else, like things that, just little simple stuff like that. And then you can make it as, like almost look like a landing page, or you can keep it simple. So again, options.
It's really, you could update it exactly how you would any landing page. So previous to this, if you wanted to make that page really pop, a lot of times you would need a lot of custom code to achieve that. We really wanted to make it way more accessible to actually, customize it and brand it to suit folks' needs without needing to hire someone or to have that skill set to actually create that custom code. So yeah, it's our pride and joy.
Yeah, exciting. Well, let me know what you think about it. But I'd love to know, when do you think that this is going to be available? Like, is there any timeline on when heroes are going to be able to access this new checkout custom building experience?
I probably don't have a satisfying answer for you, but I definitely should have anticipated this question because it's the obvious question. We're still working through some details, but I can say that we're hoping to have it live in the coming months.
Okay, so is it a before the end of the year thing, or is it like a next year thing?
If all goes according to plan, it would be this year. But
okay, woohoo!
As I think I can get right now, as we're working through some details. I just don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah.
But it'll be here in no time.
Okay, awesome. And I don't know if you can answer this, but when can people, other than the very, very early testers, be able to get a sneak peek? And like, when are you going to be able to do a show and tell? Like, are you going to put it into the Facebook group? Like, how are people going to find out more?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is to that question. When it is ready to be announced, we're going to announce it in every channel that is available to us. It'll definitely go in the Facebook group. We will be, we want folks to use it because it is so much better. So we're definitely going to be sharing it very widely once it's available. But I'm not sure ahead of that how much of a sneak peek we'll be providing.
Okay, no worries. Well, I've had a sneak peek and it's awesome. I love it. I'm very, very excited. I think
I'd love to hear that.
Yes, cool. All right. Well, it's been beautiful having you with us, Laura. It's great to get to know you and learn more about Cart and a customizable checkout. I think seriously, I don't know if you've heard of my infamous 80-page Google Doc of all the things that I wish Kajabi would do differently. And customizing the checkout, I think, has been on there since 2020. I think my very first meeting with Steph ever back in 2020, I spoke to her. I was like, why can't we do anything else with the checkout page? So it's pretty exciting to see this level of customization. So it's not just a bit, it's full customization, which is really cool.
Yeah, we took it all on and we took a big bite, and I think that we are going to be able to deliver something really awesome and that folks will really like.
Yay. Woohoo! Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Laura. It's been a pleasure having you here for season 2 of the Kajabi Fireside Chats. We will be back again next week, and we're going to be talking to Michael from the communities team. So this replay is going to be up. Let me just, hang on, I got the wrong mouse. I'm trying to do the, okay, mouse. So this is the link to where, I mean, hopefully you're already watching it on this page, but the replay is going to be here. It'll be in the community as well. And also on that page, there is, I am running the Kajabi Shop Sprint again. So this is a workshop that I ran in May with a few people where it's kind of like a get shit done, do it together, go through how to create your shop pages. I've got some resources as well. So I'm going to be running that again live on the first weekend of August. So if you go to this, the page, the Kajabi Fireside Chats live page, so where you're watching it, you can go and register for that. There's early bird special on, but yeah, it'll be a live workshop and I'll give you some stuff. Also, one of the things I didn't mention, which I will put a link to in the community, is if you want even fancier cart landing pages, Bastian from Jiffy Courses and beautiful Penny from Penny in Your Pocket have both created some really cool templates with extra coding and extra funky stuff. So I'll put links to both of their templates. I'm not going to be selling a template. I just wanted to include one with the shop sprint because it made sense because we're making shop pages together. And I also take you through how to create digital downloads easily as well. So let me know if you want any more info on that. It's on the page. And of course, in the community, if you have questions for Laura afterwards, if you're like, oh, what about this? What about that? Can we do this? Because, you know, maybe there's more curious people. Put your questions into the Kajabi Fireside Chats community and I'll get Laura to answer. I'm pretty sure we covered everything, but you never know. It's usually as you're going to use things that you discover it. So my challenge is make cart enabled on your site. Make it easy for people to be able to check out. And I would highly recommend pulling together a cart page to showcase all of your offers. Stop hiding things and making it hard for people to know how to buy from you. You know, you don't even need to be super salesy about it. You can be like, hey, I've got this page, like go and check it out and you can buy all my stuff. And maybe as a, you know, little celebration, you can say spend over $50 or $100 and you can get 10% off. So options. Cool. Thanks, Laura. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you back here same time next week, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Wednesday, Australian time. And yeah, thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Sue.
Bye.